Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Tyler 444 Sports for another athlete interview. This will be episode number 11. We do apologize. We were absent last week because I could not find an interviewee. Now I have found multiple interviewees, which is going to be really, really exciting. All the way from St. George, Utah at Pine View High School. We are going to be interviewing some incredible athletes and some student athletes that are part of a student section, and hopefully potentially a future broadcast network on YouTube. So let's meet our interviewees. First, with Lucan Chadburn, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lucan Chadburn. As he already said, I wrestle for Pineview High School, and I just love supporting all the teams there.
That's good. All right. Next is Colby Himmelwright.
I'm Colby Himmelwright. As you said, I play football, track, and basketball.
Nice. That's good. That's good. Okay. And then next is Walker Harris.
Hi, I'm Walker Harris. I've played football this past season, and I'm currently doing track, and I love supporting Pineview.
That's good. And Travion Hall.
My name is Travion Hall. I play football and I run track, and I just love supporting Pineview.
Very good. Very good. Well, all the athletes here, welcome to the interview. You guys have done a lot of good things recently, and athletes do a lot of good things, and they sometimes like to do new things. So recently, it's been relatively new, but you've been posting videos on Instagram and your student section about a broadcasting table, just kind of like a setup, kind of like ESPN broadcasting table in front of your student section, which it's a common theme in many schools, but you guys kind of do it a little differently. Usually a lot of student sections, they just like to set it up and take it down, and they're just like, we'll use it for one day and that's it. But you guys want to keep doing it and want to run something with broadcasting. So what's the idea behind all this? What's like the idea, and how does this go? How does this idea come into fruition?
Trey, you wanna?
I just feel like, I don't know, it kind of started with like all of us being together. We're just like, yo, the boys are about to play, they're about to go up state. Let's just make this something awesome for them. And then after that, it just blossomed. We're like, let's do it for the girls then. And it just kicked off after that. And then Colby and Walker, they both wanted to start posting stuff and just like get our name out there pretty much. And then Lucan helped record, be our cameraman. And then, yeah, it's just kicked off.
Yeah, that sounds very exciting. I mean, having a group of people that could do it together sounds really exciting, because then they all get to know things and they work as a team and get to know each other as well. Lucan, by the way, how do you do the camera work for your shows and your footage?
I usually just like take one of the team members' phones and I just like try to get the best shots, like mostly offense and basketball. Yeah.
There you go. That's always important. One of your videos was actually a dunk made by your boys' basketball team.
Over to Caleb. Caleb Schmidt. Holy tough.
It's gone pretty much viral. It's been, it went pretty crazy on Instagram, and you guys reacting. You guys had the mouths wide open. You all were shocked. You all loved it, and that's really amazing to see, because I'm not even from Utah. I'm all the way from Illinois, and I see that video, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this school must be the place to be for boys basketball, because the student section brings energy, the table brings energy, and it's all good fun. Walker, what do you think about how does that table of broadcasting crew, the four of you guys, bring energy?
I think it really brings like a sort of uniqueness in our student section. Like like some of the origins for it was done last year by a couple of juniors, and they did it for I think 2 games, but we wanted to like bring it back for this year, and it was just like really unique because we kind of like had like Chromebooks and stuff from different teachers, and so it made like a kind of semi-professional look while still keeping like the good energy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Chromebooks definitely do help. They're not phones, but they're Chromebooks. I have a personal Chromebook myself. I used a Chromebook while I was in high school, so that's really cool to see. And using different assets of technology as well. Colby, what do you think?
So like ESPV, it's kind of like been a thing for a little bit at our school, but like no one's really like done anything with it, and no one did it this year. So we were like, why don't we like bring it? So like the day before our playoff game, we're like, why don't we just like bring it back for fun? And then, it started this, and now we're like boy dunking on it. Someone has like 70K views and it's going crazy, but yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Like I said, some of your posts went viral, a lot of views. So hopefully you guys can keep that up. And I'm sure if you guys continue on this, this is gonna go a long way. Now, you guys are currently athletes as well, so you do a lot of balancing. Colby and Walker, you guys both do track. So how does being a student athlete help you learn maybe the sports and just the rules in general, regardless of the sport? How does being a student athlete help you learn sports? What does that teach you? What does that teach you being an athlete?
We are obviously athletes, and so we have a lot of athletic friends that do other sports, and so we try to go to a lot of their games and support as much as we can, just like really any sports we grow up around. So it's pretty easy to follow the rules for us, especially since we play a lot of complicated sports like that.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, and I know a lot of schools have a lot of different sports. My school has a flag football team now. Actually, the entire state has a flag football program, flag football sport, IHSA. It's actually really cool because it's been relatively new. It's basically football, but the girls. But it's a relatively new sport. My school made it actually downstate this year, which was really, really nice. But we lost to Whitney Young 13-6. But it was very fun going downstate and getting 20+ wins. And it was really fun to hear about the team and my town doing that, which is really cool. Anybody else? Anything you want to add?
I think just like what the student athlete is, as a student, you're also learning other things that can make you a better player. Like sports med, like some of the classes we have, sports med it's a medical place where you learn stuff about your body and how to prevent injuries occurring and how to help injuries when they do occur. So I think just being able to be in a game and then just knowing what to do when something like that happens and occurs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially having that knowledge about what happens if there's an injury on the court, and I know it's negative, but when it happens, it's pretty serious. And you got to have that knowledge of what the injury might be so that okay, if this were to happen to me, you kind of have to be a little bit of an expert in kind of the medical field. You want to know what type of injury you might have and how to recover and how to get back on the court or the field as soon as possible and get clear to play. So having that knowledge is pretty nice. It's an extra bonus. And what about you, Lucan? Anything to add?
I feel like it can just like help teach kids like time management with like sports and homework and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Homework is another thing. School's another thing. You have to balance all the things in the classroom and everything like that. You just homework and just school assignments. I've had to do it too. And then Colby, what about you? Anything to add? pass on the AirPods to Colby. Anything you want to add to this question?
You know, I'd say like being a student athlete, you kind of know like what you want to hear from the student section or whatever. So like, you want to have energy. So like, it kind of helps us be like, hey, we got to go crazy for these guys, whatever they're, or girls, whatever they're playing, and just like help them out any way we can.
Yeah. Just being there to help out. And I did that during the student section with the student section too, which was pretty awesome. Just helping out, just being there, supporting the class of 2023, 24, 25, 26, and beyond. And it's been very, very fun. So that's pretty awesome. And now we're going to move on to the third question. You have also recently created a YouTube channel about your student section. So do you plan to stream games? And what is it like to be a broadcaster and to cheer your friends on?
I wish and hope to keep on streaming more games, because it's been truly awesome just to be with these boys and to cheer our team on and cheer with our friends and just bring the excitement. So I think if we can just keep on doing this whenever we can, when we're not doing our own sports and our own schoolwork, I would love it.
There you go. Anybody else? Anybody want to add anything?
I'd also say that like we want to keep streaming and broadcasting our games to like people who can't come to them because they're awesome. And our girls are actually in the playoffs, and they're still in the semifinals, I think, and we're gonna try to drive up there tomorrow, and hopefully we can like stream or at least get some content from that game and post it on our YouTube and Instagram.
There you go. I wanted to ask, how far is it? Are you guys gonna have like a fan bus or something like that?
Yeah, it's like 4.5 hour drive, so we'll have to see. Yeah, but we'll try to get as many people up there as we can.
Yeah, well, you know what? You should recommend to your school that they should have a fan bus, because a 4.5 hour drive, man, that's like a day's worth drive. And I've taken an 1.5 hour drive to basketball games before, and it gets pretty tiring on you. And I've had to take a 3 hour combined road trip once just to see a basketball game. It was actually down in Kankakee, but my team lost by like 30. So, and I was pretty much the only fan there. But you know what? It's whatever you can to support your team. And that's what I do, and that's what you guys do, and you guys are doing something very incredible right now. And hopefully it's something that can go on with you guys, and hopefully it's something you can keep doing in the future. Lucan, anything you want to add?
No. I think they said all that could be said.
Yeah, there we go on that question. All right. And being a student athlete and being a broadcaster as well, it takes a lot of things to do. But you guys are graduating high school hopefully soon. So what's your future goals? You planning to go to college? What is your intended major and things like that? What is your future goal?
So I actually graduate next year, and I'm planning on either becoming a physical therapist or try to do something with football or track.
Okay, yeah, football or track. And then also PT is really good as well, because then you're helping community if somebody needs work to be done as far as the physical side of things. That's really good, and you would be an essential person helping out people. Anybody else?
I think I also kind of want to hopefully keep playing either football or running track at the next level if I can. And, you know, just, you know, keep doing stuff with sports, whether that maybe broadcasting, keep that going. But, you know, just I love sports, so doing something with that, I'd say.
Okay, that's pretty good. Walker, anything you want to add? Passing on to Walker.
You know, kind of the same thing they were saying, like continuing like sports and athletic things at the next level. If not playing them, like supporting them as much as I possibly can through college. I don't really have like a specific major or identity or job I want to do after college, but I'm hoping that I will find out soon.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, and I've been through the same things. I had to research what I wanted to do for college and what I wanted to do after college, and now I currently have a full-time job as well. So I'm balancing just the work, school, home life, and you know what? People can be successful when they balance things and when they stay organized. And the last question is, what is the definition, in your words, a student athlete? I want everybody answering this one. What, in your words, what defines student athlete?
Luke, can you start? Yours.
Okay. I think a student athlete is like, right, obviously someone that plays sports, but I feel like more of like a role model for all the other students to like be good, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Being a positive role model, showing good sportsmanship as well. Travion, you're next.
I feel like it's just part of the name, you know? A student athlete. You got to be a student before you're an athlete. You got to make sure everything in the school work is up to date so you can actually be an athlete and do what you can on the field.
Okay, yeah. Definitely schoolwork comes first. The grades come first. You want to make sure you have all A's, B's, C's, etc. That comes first. Schoolwork comes first, and yeah, I would 100% agree. Walker, what about you?
You know, obviously what some of my coaches like to say is the student athlete, like the student comes first. So that should be like your main focus. Like the athlete is obviously extracurricular. So I think it's a really good, like, what's the word? Almost like developing you to be a better person through the way, like you mentioned before, like balancing different things through life and learning new things to do. It just helps you.
Okay. Yeah. And especially talking with people, being that social athlete, talking to people as well and creating relationships. Just like I've explained in my book, The Best Rivals 2022, it not only talks about a rivalry, it also talks about relationships. By the way, if you have not checked out The Best Rivals 2022, it is available on Amazon and you can still purchase it. It is $11 for a paperback version or $2 on Kindle. And finally, Colby, what do you think the definition is about student athlete?
I think they've said great things, you know, like the student comes first. I was going to say something about that, but I think also you just have to be a good person to everyone, you know, like I feel like as a student athlete, you have like more responsibilities than like just a normal student because you have to be good like on the field, in the classroom, off the field. So I just try to like be a good like person to everyone, say hi to people in the halls because, you know, people watch your game so they know you, and just like I feel like that is what a student athlete is.
Yeah, when you have people to support you, you can definitely be a great student athlete. But again, remember that schoolwork comes first, the athlete comes second. If you are struggling with schoolwork, if you are having if you're struggling with academics and you are a student athlete, if you're having D's and F's in classes, go to somebody. Get help on that. Get that work done first before you come to being a student athlete. One of our policies at my high school that I went to is that there's eligibility, and if you have more than one F, you cannot participate in a game or a practice or ride the bus. You have to get that. You have to get those classes to a passing grade first. Work comes first, second is the athlete. So that's always an important lesson that always needs to be taught to every single athlete. The schoolwork comes first before being an athlete. So yeah, that is going to be wrapping up episode number 11 of the Tyler 444 Sports Athlete Interviews. Thank you all for your patience and support. I do apologize we are not able to get you an athlete interview last week, but we are now doing it this week, and we will have another one for sure the next week. And that is going to be also amazing, which is going to be episode number 12. So I'm Tyler from Tyler 444 Sports, along with Lucan, Kobe, Walker, and Travion from St. George Pineview High School. We will see you all in the next video. Everybody wave bye, say bye.
Bye.
See ya. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.